And welcome, race fans, to Paint the Yellow All-Star Race, quarterly All-Star Race tonight at Talladega Superspeedway. Getting ready for some fun action here tonight. Working in the booth with me, it is indeed a pleasure. Mike, the Batman Keaton, sitting beside me over here. Of course, John Wessling, Magic Fingers. Everybody calls him a legend. He'll be pushing the buttons on the cameras for you back here. But more importantly, I'll tell you what, we got two of the best in the business down on pit road, Dakota Ehrman and Ben Kilcrease. I keep wanting to call him Ben for some reason. Maybe we should fill out the paperwork and get his name changed to Bill. What do you think there, Mike?
Probably a good idea, JD.
I'll tell you what, big thanks to HD Radio Network for a little bit of rock and roll pre-race here. But, you know, we got a special occasion coming up here, guys, that I want to talk about here for just a little bit before we get rolling here. And a very important event is going to happen on Thursday, July 5th. And here's a little something to kind of tell you about what we're doing. So let's listen in. Hi, I'm J.D. Webb, one of the executive producers and commentators for ETV Live, an online simulation autosports broadcasting company. Prader-Willi syndrome is the most common cause of life-threatening obesity in children. It causes them to have uncontrollable urges to eat, feelings and compulsion for hunger all the time, but hunger is the least of the problems, especially if left untended. Prader-Willi syndrome leads to low muscle tone, short stature, incomplete sexual development, and can lead to a stage of obesity that is life-threatening. Sponsored by Paint the Yellow Racing League, Ed Peoples and his daughter Victoria and son Mitchell join me tonight to invite you to attend and to participate in this worthy cause. Ed, just briefly, the lifestyle adjustments that a parent must take, both in the home and psychological, must be very difficult. Please explain to our viewers what it means to have a child with Prader-Willi syndrome.
Thank you very much, JD. We have a customized kitchen provided by Habitat for Humanity where the doors are locked at all times by a combination style keypad. We also use a weekly menu posted for her to see so she knows what meals she will be having and the times and the foods and amounts that she will be receiving. As far as our careers, they are a challenge for both parents to work, yet both of us be constantly available for the many doctor visits and the therapist appointments to juggle. As far as the psychological effect, her smiles make all of our challenges and struggles worthwhile to manage on a daily basis. We are very aware of the many other diseases and syndromes and disabilities out there that are much more severe than Prader-Willi syndrome. We feel very fortunate to have an organization like Prader-Willi Syndrome USA to be there in times of need and in crisis. Thanks, JD.
And Victoria, sweetheart, I don't understand what you feel and how you live with Prader-Willi syndrome because I just don't know a lot about it. So can you tell me and everyone listening, sweetheart, what it's like?
I try to always be happy and my boyfriend.
She's always trying to be happy, and that is very common with her and other children with Prader-Willi syndrome, always smiling. And she does love to communicate with the boyfriend she has in Pittsburgh. She loves with Prader-Willi syndrome.
Very good. And Mitchell, I'll bet you're proud of your older sister. What are some of the things that you do to help?
I try to be a bigger brother even though I'm little. I try to play with her because she doesn't have friends to play with.
Very good. Please join Ed, Victoria, Mitchell, and I, along with many others, on July 5th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, live on ETV Live for a very special night, and learn more about this rarely publicized illness that affects 1 in 15,000 children annually in the U.S., and how you can help provide relief. We'll see you then. All right, and I'll tell you, that tells you a little bit about what we're doing, and I certainly want to invite everybody, along with Mitchell and Victoria, to join us on July 5th, Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. Very special presentation and a lot of fun here from Talladega Superspeedway. But tonight, Michael, we're here for another fun activity. I tell you, these guys, they put this thing on every quarter. This is a quarterly thing that they do, the kind of a shootout style all-star race, 12-lap heat races and a 50-lap main. Let's talk to them about the first 12-lap heat races. Now, they start out, they qualify in, Mike, no cautions. The flagmen don't come to work until that 50-lap run later on. But they will start with 25% fuel. They must pit at some point, no telling when. It's up to each driver. And then in heat number 2, the finishing field from 1 gets inverted. They'll start heat number 2, and then we'll have a 10-minute break in between. Now, the 50-lapper here tonight at Talladega, main event, the cautions will be on, so the flagman will be reporting for work and 50% fuel capacity. Again, drivers having to pit here. So we're looking for some exciting times here at Talladega.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, JD. I'm looking really forward to this first race. 12 laps, going to be really fun to watch because you just got to let it all hang out, JD. You got to get to the front just as quick as you can because this race doesn't last forever.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, real quick, let's send it on down to pit road with Dakota Airman. Dakota, what are you hearing from the crews down there on pit road, bud?
Well, actually, WT, I'm going to, JD, excuse me. I'm going to take it first time.
Payback is always a pain in the ass.
It sure is. A few of these guys have been telling me, I talked to Tom Moustakis and Donald Hagen earlier, and when they come down pit road in the heat races, they really don't have a set strategy. They're going to come when they feel is the best time in the race too, if you get what I'm saying there. But I have talked to other drivers. They have a set lap, and that lap ranges from 5 to 6 and possibly even 9. It's about as far as they can take it in the heat races here. And tires, no biggie here in the heat races. So don't look for any tires. We're just going to fill them up with Sunoco racing fuel. Dakota.
Yeah, guys, and the biggest concern right now is in the setups. They've got to watch what they do with the setups. These cars can get really loose on this track, and I think you'll watch them as they come down pit road, possibly make some wedge changes or put that track bar in the car, guys. But we'll throw it back up to the booth with JD.
All right, good stuff, guys. Looking forward to a lot of fun here tonight. Why don't we go ahead and send it on down trackside? I believe the Cactus Cutie is standing by to present our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, thank you to the Cactus Cuties for the national anthem. But, Michael, they are getting gridded up here on the track right here at the start-finish line. Let's go ahead and take them down through the lineup here tonight. Qualifying on the pole with a blistering 59.07, James Howard in that number 4 machine. He'll be starting in the number 1 position here tonight. On the outside, Chris Crosby in the number 11.
Starting on that row number 2, JD, the 88 car, Matt Smith. And outside him, Christopher Houlihan.
Jonathan Gold will be starting in 5th position on the inside in the 08. Outside him in 6th position in the 91, Tom Mustukas.
And starting 7th position tonight, JD, Jack Honeycutt. And outside him is going to be Gary Bauer.
In 9th position on the inside in the 54 truck, Gary Horsley. Outside him in 10th position in the 38 machine, Gary Law.
Starting in 11th, the number 30 machine of Wyatt Hughes. Outside him, number 24, Ed Peoples.
And starting on the inside in the number 13 spot in the 33 car, Tyler Stellwagen. On the outside in 14th in the number 9, David Polwak.
Starting in 15th position, the number 34 of Nick Ramsey, and outside him, the number 60 car of Mickey Tuttle.
Ricky Jenkins will be starting in the 02 in 17th position on the inside. On the outside, Paul Covington in the number 25 machine in 18th.
Starting 19th, Chuck Harris. Outside him, the number 31 machine of Richard Ballhammer.
Bern Lavelle will be starting in the 62 machine on the inside in 21st and 22nd in the number 36 truck, Tony Oldham.
And Kyle Lewis with a qualifying lap of 51.101 will be starting 23rd, JD. Outside him, Mark Robertson, and we'll have to get kind of word on Donald Hagen whether or not he is starting the race or not, JD.
All right, 25 drivers coming to Talladega here tonight for the quarterly All-Star race event here with PaintYellow Racing League. I tell you, I've been doing business with these guys here for about 6 or 7 months now, and have been broadcasting their quarterly races. A lot of fun to be had here tonight. 2 12-lap heats, 1 50-lap shootout, Cowboy, and I'll tell you what, they are locked and loaded for a lot of fun. Now, the flagmen, they have closed and locked the gates. The flagmen are standing by. They will not be permitted on the track until the 50-lap main event comes, so it's let everything hang out here the first couple of races, the first 2 12-lap heat races.
Yeah, and JD, this race to me, if I'm a driver, I'm really trying to get an idea of how who's around me and maybe who I can kind of team up with next heat race. You know what I'm saying? That's real important here at Talladega.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, another important thing here, they'll be starting here with 25% fuel, so they must come down and take fuel. Danger zone coming off turn 4, making that transition down onto the apron. You're talking about 2 different racing surfaces down here. Once they cross that yellow line, that's no man's land down there, Cowboy. So you got to whoa that pony up from 200 miles an hour down to 55 miles an hour as the pace car gets ready to pull off down pit road. I'll tell you what, they are staring out the windshield, looking at that flag stand, and up it comes, the green flag about ready to come out. And we are going to be racing here just momentarily at Talladega Superspeedway as they geared up and put the hammer down, and we are off and running at Talladega.
JD, look like the 4 kind of got a good start. James Howard, he's out front. He's in front of your pole sitter, Chris Crosby, as they lead him down into turn 1.
James Howard dropping right down to the bottom with a good start here, Cowboy. But I'll tell you what, single file all the way back here for quite a ways, rather deep in the field here. It'll probably stay that way. Back to Ed Peoples in the number 24 machine back here. And he's got some, I think that's the number 6 of Nick Ramsey. Or, pardon me, that's going to be the number 60 of Mickey Tuttle up in behind 2 wide back there working that top lane up here. But I'll tell you what, Cowboy, coming around for lap 1 here. And it's all up to these drivers when they want to pit. We know they have to pit, just a matter when.
JD, looks like the front 6 is pulled away by a second of the 77 car of Gary Bauer as the struggle for finding a teammate has begun.
You bet. And I was looking at the, I believe this is a 91 machine up here in 6th position, currently being shown in 6th position, but it'll change when they come around the start-finish line. Working the top side up here, that's going to be Tom Ustakis in that racerstuff.com. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. Brand new website opening up here tonight. In fact, it'll be the grand opening announcement right here on ETV Live with the PaintYellow quarterly All-Star racer at Talladega. But Mustakis and Jonathan Goke decided to drop back down in the single file lane back here, guys, as we put 3 laps in the books. So trying to work that top side, getting something going up here as we move it back to Wyatt Hughes back here in 8th position in the 30 truck, jumping up to the top side, 24 coming alongside on the inside.
Yeah, JD, that's who I'm taking a look at is Wyatt Hughes. As he's finally found him someone to kind of team up with, and that's Gary Horsley. They're going to see if they can try to work together and move up through the field, but they got the work cut out for them as the top 7 or 6, JD, have pulled away from the rest of the field. As they're 3 wide, JD, up here for the lead.
3 wide coming through the trioval up here, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, these guys are letting it all hang out here. 3 laps. There'll be 4 laps in the books when they cross the start-finish line. Real quick gander over here to the chat room, Cowboy. I can't believe my eyes. Corvette Dave logging in, tuning in, watching the race live here on ETV Live. Good to see you, Corvette Dave. It's been a long, long time, my friend. 3 wide coming off of turn 4 here, down the backstretch. Actually, turn 2 coming down the backstretch, guys. Jonathan Goke in the 08 machine up here riding the wall as a bunch of trucks get past him. So I don't know whether Goke has not found a dancing partner here yet, Cowboy, or what. But he's kind of riding the wall up here, letting everything go past him down here on the bottom. So not sure what's going on with that 08 machine.
JD, it looks like we got someone that just dropped off the pace speed. Looks like he is pitting as the front 2 runners, James Howard, Chris Crosby, are continuing to run away from the field.
It might have been Goke looking for Tom Moustakis. Moustakis finally catching up to that 91 machine, so trying to get something going here. 5 laps in the books now. Cowboys set for 12 laps here at Talladega. Heat number 1. The flagmen are standing outside the gate, so there'll be no flags if something happens. So I tell you, a lot happening all over the track here, Michael.
Yeah, JD, from 6th to 8th probably is on the backstretch. They were for just a minute 2 deep, 3 wide as they kind of settle back out now. Just trying to find someone. As the leaders are pitting here, JD, the leaders are pitting. It doesn't matter what kind of lead you have at Talladega, JD. As long as you've got that guy behind you, you know you can try to catch the draft or catch the field with that draft.
You bet. And we've got Gary Loft coming down pit road, James Howard, Chris Crosby heading down pit road. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be a fast one down here on pit road. We keep an eye on the times here as they all pull in. No tires, Cowboys. This is probably going to be fuel only, I'm sure. And off they go. Crosby or James Howard are going to leave the pits first with Crosby. Chris Crosby right behind him here. David Pollock in the 9 machine also coming out. And let me tell you something. You talk about lickety-split on pit road, fuel only, Cowboy. 2.5 seconds. Fill it up and get her going.
JD, looks like we got a wreck, JD. Turn 4, huge wreck, JD.
No cautions, Cowboy, and I tell you what, they just gathered up and keep on pedaling here. So it looks like we got a big wreck on turn 4 here. I'm trying to go back and find it.
JD, it looked like they kind of started with someone up there trying to pit there. Just checked up a little too much, and that caused a chain reaction. Not exactly sure. I'm trying to go back as well, but trying to focus on the race leader right now is Jonathan Goke, JD. And he has not pitted.
All right, and Chuck Harris also coming down pit road as well. So everybody heading down pit road. Most of the field has pitted already. Thomas Dukas also heading down pit road. Thomas Dukas involved in that wreck. Damage to the left rear deck lid of that machine as he heads down into his pits. Jonathan Goke in the 08 machine crawls into his pit box, slides to a stop. It's going to be a fuel-only stop for him as well. Fastest pit stop of the night tonight, 1.2 seconds out of that number 91 machine. Down and out, ready to roll. Getting back on the track here at Talladega.
Yeah, JD, Jonathan Goke spins it coming off pit road. That's drastically going to hurt his efforts here. He didn't get any damage, didn't hit anything as we're watching here in live view, JD, but he did spin it coming off pit road.
All right, checking the E-view here. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, just a little bit too much throttle there. Michael Keaton, and around she goes for an E-ticket ride.
That's what I was going to say, JD. You're wanting to come off pit road so fast, and you just get into the throttle a little bit too much trying to gear up, and because you know the field's coming, you know you were the last one to pit, and you know they're coming, and that's Jonathan Goat just kind of paid the price for just trying too hard to get out of pit road too fast, and your new race leader, JD, as they cycle around will be Christopher Houlihan.
Christopher Houlihan in the number 71 machine. I'll tell you what, you got the 9 laps in the books now, Cowboy. So this thing's starting to wind down here a little bit. As looks like Matt Smith gets in front of Houlihan now. This might be the swap to cool those motors down. Remember, they still have to do that. It's not like you can follow the leader all the way around this thing forever. You do have to, break out, get some clean air, cool that motor down. So the swaps are going to come here, but right now Matt R. Smith up in the front here with Christopher Houlihan. Dropping back here just a little bit, you've got Gary Horsley in the 54 machine. He's looks like he's working with, I believe that's going to be the number 30 of Wyatt Hughes up here in the front as well. So duking it out here as they cross the start-finish line. 10 laps in the books, 2 to go here at Talladega.
JD, I tell you what, Wyatt Hughes and Gary Horsley is really working that outside lane. The 88 and 71's kind of been paired up for quite some time. They're probably feeling the heat by now as the 88 continues to lead the race, and coming to this will be 1 to go.
Chris Crosby and James Howard back here. With Chris Crosby and James Howard back here, Michael, trying to put the hammer down and get as close as they can possibly get up to their challenge for the lead up here, but I tell you what, they look like almost equal speeds here. But Wyatt Hughes and Gary Horsley dropping back in behind the leaders up here. They're coming down through the tri-oval, going into turn 1 as the 54 machine goes up high. And I believe we're going to have 1 to go next time around. The 54 machine trying to get something hooked up here. And the leaders jumping around up here as well. So 3 wide coming down the backstretch up here, Cowboy. And they are just all over the place, looking for that lead.
And it looks like, JD, the 71 car, Christopher Houlihan, going to hang on to it as they were 3 wide going down the backstretch, but the 30 truck trying to make a move on the inside, JD, as they come to the white flag this time by.
Oh, and the 88 gets turned. Wrecking right here on the front stretch, guys. The 88 truck going for an E-ticket ride right through the tri-oval here, Cowboy. 88 out of the picture. Matt Smith. Rough night for him right here at the finish, and we are on the white flag lap, Cowboy, and this is for all the marbles. Field will get inverted for the next 12-lap heat right after this one, but right now up in front, running tandem, it's going to be James Howard and Chris Crosby in that number 11 truck.
And JD, not sure if White and Gary can get close enough to them. They probably needed 1 more lap. We're going to see if Chris tries to put any move on James as they come out of 4, JD.
Coming out of turn 4, and just, I tell you, Wyatt Hughes and Chris Crosby just don't have enough power to get there, Cowboy. But I'll tell you what, the 11 car going around the 4 for position here. But it's going to be the 4 and the 11 to the start-finish line. And I'm showing the 11 machine, Chris Crosby on the outside, just by a nose, by 16, actually 1/1000th of a second here over James Howard. So I'll tell you what, the first 12-lap heat race in the books here at Talladega with a little bit of sheet metal pulled out of shape.
I tell you what, JD, could not ask for a better finish, photo finish. Going to see if Dakota can get that one up on Facebook. I've got the picture if he doesn't. Wow, what a finish for the 11.
All right. And we'll see if we can get a word with the top 3 here just momentarily. But I'll tell you what, the first 12-lap heat in the books here. The flagmen are still standing outside the gate, stomping their foot, hollering and screaming, saying, "Hey, let me in, Cowboy." I'll tell you what, you boys can watch it on the big screen out there at the gate. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and cut away, take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have your top 3 finishers here. So hang on, Cowboy. Don't wander off. All right, and welcome back live here. Talladega Superspeedway, the first 12-lap heat for Paint the Yellow Racing in the books here, the All-Star race. And I'll tell you what a race it was. Now, remember, the caution flags, they're nowhere to be found, Cowboy. The flagman's still standing outside the gate. And but 12 laps in the books here, winning the first heat race here, Chris Crosby. Tell us about your race, bud.
It was interesting, to say the least. I didn't really know how it was going to play out. These 12 laps were so tricky, but getting partnered up with James real quick was the way to go for us. He's a real good pusher and drafter, and we just got a little slow and behind on the pit stop there, and shaking things up a little bit. Then we had a little trouble up there with some guys, and somehow motored on through that with little damage. So we come out to the good.
I'll tell you what, let's go back to the last 100 yards of that one. Coming off turn 4, the 4 car looking up, or the 11 car looking up on the outside. Of course, that's going to be you, James Howard, down on the bottom down there. What was going through your mind at that point?
Well, I was content just staying behind him, but it was getting to the point where the temperature was getting high, and I was afraid I was going to blow if I stayed behind him and pushed him. But then I saw that Wyatt and Gary back there were a couple, maybe a second or so behind us, so I figured my real goal was to cool it down a little bit, but it ended up playing to my advantage and snuck out in front a little bit.
All right. Well, congratulations on the win here for the first heat race. I'm going to throw it on down pit road. I believe Michael Keaton standing by with James Howard.
Sure am. James Howard starting on the pole today this afternoon. Finishes second. James, tell us what you were thinking, the 2 deep, 3 wide there just moments ago before the checkered came out.
Well, Chris and I worked together the entire race, and, last couple of laps there, we, with about 4 to go, we just kind of ducked in as a third pack in line and ran there. And, once we got through and got the lead, I knew Chris wouldn't just sit back there and let me have it coming off of 4. So, I was trying to figure out the last lap what I was going to do to hold him off the line, and tried to hold him up high and get a run down. Just wasn't enough.
Tell you what, James, for a first heat finish, I tell you what, got to be one of the best finishes I've seen in quite a while. Did a Photoshop finish. Look for that picture on Facebook later on this afternoon. Going to send it on down to Ben. He's standing by with Wyatt Hughes.
Yeah, I'm down here with Wyatt. Wyatt, come onto the line. You saw James and Chris side by side. Were you back there licking your chops, hoping they would get together?
Yeah, but I know those 2 guys are probably two of the best in the business. But me and Gary, we were cooking pretty good, and we just, when that 88 got loose in front of us, we had to back it off, and we lost all our momentum there, and we just couldn't get back to them.
Wyatt, did you learn anything in this first heat race that's going to help you in the second heat race, or maybe even in the in the main feature? Excuse me.
Yeah, you just gotta play your cards right, and know when to go, and know when to just stay back and ride. And I think James and Chris's strategy was probably the best. Just ride behind them, let everybody do what they're gonna do, and then go. And we may use that in the feature.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, Wyatt, and I'm gonna send it back up to JD.
All right, Cowboy, I tell you what, it's in the books now, first 12-lap heat out of the way. Getting set for the next one. Now, remember, they take the starting lineup, they're going to the finishing lineup, invert the field, and we'll get this thing rolling again. So right now, we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break, turn it over to HD Radio Network for a little rock and roll, Cowboy, as we get set for the second heat race for tonight. Stand by. We'll be right back.
HDRadioNetwork.com.
There is nothing that is wrong in wanting you to stay here with me. I know you've got somewhere to go, but won't you make yourself at home and stay with me? And don't you ever leave. Lay down, Sally, and rest here in my arms. Don't you think you want someone to talk to? Lay down, Sally, no need to leave so soon. I've been trying all night long just to talk to you. Sun ain't nearly on the rise. We still got the moon and stars above. Underneath the velvet skies, love is all that matters. Won't you stay with me? Don't you ever leave. Lay down, Sally, and rest here in my arms. Don't you think you want someone to talk to? Lay down, Sally, and no need to leave so soon. I've been trying all night long just to talk to you.
Hey dude, are you ready to rock and roll? If that's cool, then you need to do it over at HD Radio Network. HD Radio Network, 4 stations broadcasting 24/7 with everything from metal favorites to the 80s classic rock like legendary Leonard Skinner, Electric Light Orchestra, Foreigner, and bone-rattling, skull-crushing rock and roll on hard driving radio. And partnered with Nuff World Simulation Gaming, check out the HD Radio Network's Nuff Radio with Bear Factory, Stone Temple Pilots, Def Leppard, and a whole lot more. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take your pick and rock your brains out, dude. Hi, I'm JD Webb, one of the executive producers and commentators for ETV Live. Many of you have heard my voice before, calling races from the booth, having fun with the fans, and congratulating winners on any given night during our broadcasts. I want you to hear my voice again, only this time as I invite you to share a very special evening on ETV Live from Talladega Superspeedway for a benefit race on Thursday, July 5th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Have you ever been so hungry that you felt the pain and anxiety wondering when your next meal will come? How about if you're told that you can't eat when you're hungry and you have to wait? Prader-Willi syndrome is the most common cause of life-threatening obesity in children. It causes them to have uncontrollable urges to eat and feelings of compulsion for hunger all the time. Parents have to lock the kitchen doors and cabinets, put food out of reach, and deny the hunger their child feels. But hunger is the least of the problems, especially left untended. Besides the uncontrollable urge to eat constantly, Prader-Willi syndrome leads to low muscle tone, short stature, incomplete sexual development, and can lead to a stage of obesity that is life-threatening. Sponsored by Paint the Yellow Racing League, here's an opportunity for you to learn about this debilitating illness and at the same time share a fun evening with your family. Please join me Thursday, July 5th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, live on ETV Live for a very special night and learn more about this rarely publicized illness that affects 1 in 15,000 children annually in the U.S. and how you can help to provide relief. We'll see you then. All right, welcome back from a little bit of short break, and again, big thanks to HD Radio Network for a little bit of rock and roll, cowboy. But right now, I want to tell you about iRacerStuff.com. Hey, it's a site dedicated to the iRacing.com motorsports simulation game featuring iRacing news, updates, companion programs, software, apps. I'll tell you what, cowboy, a new feature starting out tonight, grand opening. You heard it here first on ETV Live. iRacer Stuff deals for simulation racing items such as wheels, pedals, high horsepower computers, all updated daily with the best prices. Tell you what, check it out, iRacerStuff.com. And guys, we're about 30 seconds away as these guys complete their warm-up session out here at Talladega. First 12-lap heat out of the way, Michael. Chris Crosby taking the trophy home for that one. Of course, James Howard, Wyatt Hughes with a solid top 3 finish here tonight. They're going to start in the back of the pack here for the next 12-lapper.
That's right, J.D. Chris Crosby won the last one. Now he's going to have to do it from the very back. He's racing that iRacerStuff.com Chevrolet. See what he can do. You bet. And let's take one more trip down pit road here real quick, guys. Let's throw it on down to Dakota Ehrman. Dakota, what are you hearing down on pit road? Anything coming out of that first race strategy-wise for the second one?
Well, it was just like before. You saw some guys coming in early, you saw some guys coming in late, and I think the advantage still lies in coming in early. The sooner you get to pit road, the sooner you get that fuel tank, that fuel in the fuel tank, weigh it down, and it just seems to be your quicker earlier. JD.
All right, and right now I forgot to do it at the beginning of the night here tonight, but I want to say a special hello to Victoria Peoples and Mitchell Peoples, my 2 little friends out there, working with them the other day, putting a commercial together here for the special event coming on July 5th, and you do not want to miss that, cowboy. I tell you what, Thursday night, July 5th, starting at 7:30 p.m. live right here on ETV Live, a very special night. We'll be talking about the Prader-Willi syndrome and at the charity race here, sponsored by Paint the Yellow. But in the meantime, let's take it on down trackside here and go through your lineup for the second event of the night. This will be another 12-lapper. Matt Smith starting on the pole here tonight. Outside him in the 34 truck is going to be Nick Ramsey.
And the 07 machine, JD, starting on that second row, Chuck Harrison. And outside him, Paul Covington.
Richard Bulmer will be starting in 5th position in the 31. Outside him is going to be Mark Robertson in the number 5.
Starting 7th in the 01, Jack Honeycutt. Outside him, Ricky Jenkins.
Tyler Stellwagen will be starting in 9th position in the 33 truck. On the outside, in 10th position, number 62, Bern Lavelle.
And the 36 truck, Tony Oldman, is going to start 11th. Outside him, Mickey Tuttle.
Ed Peoples, he'll be starting in 13th position in that number 24, Gary Bauer in the 77 truck, and 14th on the outside.
And starting on the inside row in 15th, the 38 machine of Gary Lau. Outside him, Terry Mastakis.
And in 17th position, the number 9 truck is going to be David Pollock. And Christopher Houlihan will be starting in the 18th position in the number 71.
And starting 19th in the 54 truck, JD, going to be Gary Horsley. Outside him, we heard him last race, Wyatt Hughes.
James Howard will be starting in 21st position. Remember, James Howard coming home in 2nd place in the first heat race. Chris Crosby, your winner of that heat, he'll be starting in 22nd position.
And Jonathan Goke, who had a little bit of pit trouble last race, going to start 23rd. And then outside him, Kyle Lewis and JD. Donald Hagen has made the race. The 2-time series champion, Donald Hagen, in the house, going to start in the rear, JD.
All right, as the pace car brings them down through turn 4 here, and it's a long ways down to that pit road entrance. But I'll tell you what, suck them up tight and check those belts. Take one more check up in the rearview mirror. Who's your dancing partner here tonight? We got another 12-lap heat race coming your way. The flagman's still standing outside that gate, and I'll tell you what, they are hooping and hollering out there as we get ready for this one to start. Now remember, start-finish line here, a little bit different from Daytona. This one here is about 100 yards past the tri-oval right down there on the other end of pit road. as the green flag comes out again, and we are flying at Talladega Superspeedway for round 2 of the Paint the Yellow All-Star race, heat number 2.
And the camouflage snow paint of Matt Smith, JD, gonna lead them into 1, as here comes the 34 with the 21 outside him, looking for the lead.
I'll tell you something, you know, these guys race these super speedways quite a bit here, along with other tracks that they run, but I know that they do have a super speedway series here at Paint the Yellow, and I'll tell you what, Cowboy, these guys do it, and they know what they're doing. Check it out up here in the front, the 2x2 up here with Paul Covington on the outside with Nick Ramsey. Watch them as they come through the turn, hugging the bottom lane down there using that side draft coming off of turn 4, heading down the tri-oval here into the turn. I'll tell you, you know, you're coming down here about 190 miles an hour, and you got to hang on to that steering wheel, Cowboy. Keep a little left-hand tug on it because it will throw you up into the wall. Off into turn 1 they go for lap number 2.
JD, Mark Robertson got a little twitchy entering the tri-oval there as he tried to touch base with the 31 of Richard Bollimer, but was able to keep the truck under control, but that allowed your leader, Matt Smith and Chuck Harris, to pull away just a little bit down the backstretch.
3 wide, 9th position back here. Bernalville takes it 3 wide up the middle, going into the turn. I tell you what, I think it was Jack Honeycutt down there on the bottom. 4 wide coming through the turn. Holy cow! I tell you what, guys, we are on a wrecking.
77 machine and the 02 machine, JD, wrecking. Huge wreck in the tri-oval, John. No cautions, though, this race, JD. No cautions. Got a guy
that was right behind the 4 wide coming through turn 3 here, guys. It's 4 wide going into turn 4. I'm on to 77. Gary Bauer here in 15th position. He's watching it happen in front of him up here. And looks like a little bit of contact off the 02 machine. Sends him into the wall, and around he goes for an e-ticket ride here on ETV Live.
I tell you too, JD, the 9 car of David Pollock sure did take a ride, flipping more than 20 times, barrel rolling down the front stretch as that truck finally came to a stop. But back out front, JD. 3 wide out front, JD.
All right, back in the saddle again. Let's keep it up in front. Got the 07 machine up here. Chuck Ramsey, or Nick Ramsey, rather, putting it together up here with Chuck Harris, Matt Smith, and looks like a Paul Covington in that 21 machine, Cowboy. So, tell you what, no harm, no foul up here in the front as they keep motoring on. Remember, caution flags are not out here tonight in the first 2 heat races. Flagman's still locked out of the gate here at the track. But I'll tell you what, Cowboy, check out the action on the E-View. Picture-in-picture over there, and the number 9 truck just doing the pirouette in the air.
JD, Peter's leader's just now pitting.
All right, first round of pit stops coming our way. Remember, they started this race with 25% fuel, so it's up to the driver when they want to come down. As Nick Ramsey, Paul Covington, looks like... Well, I've got to cycle around my...
With JD, we've got a gaggle of cars. The top 9 trying to get into one position, and that's the first position, as they enter 3, just about 3 wide there, JD. There might be some guys coming to pit, though.
Yeah, keeping an eye on pit road down here. Ricky Jenkins, big trouble here tonight in that 02 machine with the crab walk as he tries to get that Silverado into his pit box. But also on pit road, Gary Loff, it's going to be a 38 machine down there. Almost looked like he might have taken 4 tires and fuel down here. Gary Loff might have gotten caught up in that accident. Not real sure. Looks like he kind of had an extended pit stop down here, guys. Let's send it on down to pit road to Dakota. What do you got for it, bud? All right, a little mix-up on our communications down there, but a little action down there on pit road. So I'll tell you what, Cowboy, they're coming in when they want to come in, when they need to come in. 25% fuel to start this race here. 4 laps in the books here at Talladega. Nick Ramsey coming down pit road to get his fuel now, along with Paul Covington. Now here's the deal, Cowboy. No tires needed here tonight. It's just a gas man out there with the gas can. So he'll step up to the side of that truck, top that baby up, get him down and out, back out on the track here at Talladega. So a real quick pit stop happening here, Michael. The fastest one on the night. 1.2 seconds out of that 91 machine again here at Talladega. So some lickety split lap times down there on pit road.
Yeah, JD, and I'm thinking if it cycles around, Tom, I like this on the back of that truck. He's got his name broken up into 3 different characters here. Moustakis. So Tom Moustakis may be your next race leader, JD.
Tom Moustakis in that 91 machine. I'll tell you what, they're looking pretty tough out here in round number 2 here at Talladega. 7 laps in the books. So as this thing starts to wind down, it's all about position. Now again, the field will get inverted for the 50-lap feature. They will let the flagman into the track at that point, and it'll be 50 laps with a 50% fuel tank when they start. Dakota, what do you got, bud?
James Howard has pulled the car behind the wall. They had some engine problems just a few moments ago. As Tony Oldham in the 36 was the leader, just spun on the pit road and hit the wall pretty hard, guys.
Just watching that Tony Oldham in that 36 machine on his pit road entry down there. I tell you what, just hit the brakes just a little bit too late down there, Michael. Around he went. So he's working that machine of his down pit road to fuel up and get back out on the track.
Yeah, JD, looked like he either hit the brake just a little bit too much or maybe dropped it from second to first at the wrong time. And, JD, we've got a huge battle out here for the lead coming to go this four laps to go this time by.
You bet. I believe they call that a gaggle of trucks up here. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, it's a pretty much single file until you get back here to like the 91 machine of Moustakis, Tom Moustakis, and the 01 machine of Jack Honeycutt from AJ Masonry. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, AJ Masonry, 30 years in the masonry business, 3 generations of experts. Means you get quality work and exceptional solutions for maintenance and repairs, renovation, restoration, and repairs. What they specialize in, AJ's Masonry. Contact Jack Honeycutt in Bilton, Virginia at 703-819-5846. Best thing, email him at jack@ajmasonry.com. And I'll tell you what, Jack Honeycutt looking pretty smart up here in that number 01 machine Target truck as he tries to work that machine up in the front with a little bit of help. But I tell you what, it's a gaggle of cars going 3 wide through the trial. We'll hear a little bit slower cars, the 30 machine up on the top as they squeak through heading into turn 1.
And it looks like Vern Lavelle is going to solidify that number 1 spot with Donald Hagen, the 2-time series champion, PaintYellow.com Chevrolet, right behind him, JD, to the lead.
All right, still a gaggle of cars up here, trucks up here, Cowboy. I tell you what, this thing's starting to wind down. 10 laps in the book, 2 to go here as these guys keep duking it out up here in the front. But Matt Smith and Donald Hagen looking pretty smart up here. But Hagen, is he working with Lavelle? Who knows, Cowboy? We won't find out until the last turn off turn 4, heading down through the tri-oval to collect that checkered flag. But I'll tell you what, it's been some exciting racing here at Talladega tonight for sure.
And this is shaping up to be a good one, JD. 2 to go. They just took the 2 to go as the 88 and the 07 doing the old switcheroo. Going to see if they can run down your race leader, Ben Lavelle.
All right. And while you're watching that, I'm going to keep an eye on the leader up here as Chuck Harris comes up. And I'll tell you what, working with Matt Smith. I want to call him Mark for some reason, but Matt R. Smith in that 88 machine trying to catch up to the leaders up here. That's going to be Vern Lavelle and Donald Hagen up here. So what's Hagen going to do coming around to collect the white flag here, Cowboy? About 100 yards from the start-finish line up here, and the white flag will come out for these guys, and it's kind of an automatic thing. Somebody sitting back in the office pushing the button, the white flag pops up on the flag stand. So here we go, one more time around with Vern Lavelle out in front. All right, Vern Lavelle still has the lead up here, but Donald Hagen pushing him. This is about the 3rd lap around for these guys hooked up like they are. The 14 machine in a 62 truck, so it was the 14. The 14 blowing up, guys. The 14, Donald Hagen blowing up, smoke pouring out from underneath the hood of that truck. That's going to leave Vern Lavelle up there all by himself as he gets hammered by Donald Hagen. Here, Chuck Harris. It's going to be a photo finish to the finish line, Cowboy. Vern Lavelle getting sent backwards. And coming to the line is the 91 and the 01. It's going to be Jack Honeycutt and the 01 Target Machine for the win in heat number 2 here at Talladega.
JD, another photo finish, man. I tell you what, great racing by this series.
Wow, I tell you what, looked like Vern Lavelle was going to have it up there, but his dancing partner. Looks like, I don't know if his engine, I think his engine blew right there coming off of turn 4, guys. Trying to roll it back here a little bit and see what might have happened, but what do you got for us, Mike?
Yeah, I was about to say, Jay, it looked like he said he was going to push it until it blew, and that's exactly what happened. And luckily, it didn't take the whole field out. So good maneuver by him to get down on his part, and made a great finish here, JD.
You bet. I'll tell you what, round number 2 here for the heat races in the books here at Talladega. And the official standing is going to put Jack Honeycutt up in front, Tom Ostukas, and Nick Ramsey, your top 3 finishers here at Talladega. We're going to go ahead and step away, take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have your top 3 here from Talladega. So don't wander off, Cowboy. We'll be right back. Hey, JD here with ETV Live, and let me tell you something. If it's too big for the pickup truck and you need to move it, there's only one trucking company you need to call, and don't bother with the Yellow Pages, Cowboy. I'll give you that number in a minute. Manufactured goods, automotive, technical equipment, furniture, even if you need a reefer, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the only choice, Cowboy. With locations in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Rancho Cucamonga, California, if you need to move it, store it, and keep it cold, you need to call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Long haul, short haul, or just across town, Gary Mercer has the best trained and qualified drivers to get your load from point A to point B with professionalism and on time. So remember, Hoss, if it don't fit in a pickup truck, you're going to need a real truck, Cowboy. Sponsors of ETV Live's Friday Night Showdown, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 1-800-668-2980. All right, and we are back live here at Talladega for the post-race show, and I'll tell you what, the second heat in the books here at Talladega, 12 laps, Cowboy. Jack Honeycutt taking the trophy home for that one. Jack, tell us about your race tonight, bud.
Oh, I just had a little struggle there. I'm having a little problem with my microphone in the race. I can't talk, and I was having a little struggle, but teammate Tom Ostukas, he guided me through it, and I would have never been able to do it without him. Strong teammate helps this type of racing at plate tracks work, and he was just a great rock for me, and he just got me through it. I just owe it to him. I just wanted to thank him again.
All right, and as I understand it, it's going to be from the back to the front here in the 50-lapper here coming up. You got any strategies in the books for that one?
Well, actually, that was only the first heat we inverted. The second heat is how it finished, is how it starts. So I will actually start from the pole, and Tom Ostukas, my teammate, will start second. So we will start on the front row.
There you go. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, bring it home, collect them checkers, and it's been a lot of fun up here in the booth for sure. I'm going to send it on down to Michael Keaton. I believe he's standing by with your teammate, Tony Moustakis.
Tell you what, Tom,
Moustakis, sorry.
Sporting the iRacerstuff.com Chevrolet. I like that on the back spoiler there, the Moustakis. Tom, what a race, man. Right in front of your teammate, Jack Honeycutt, finished first. No better way to start the 50-lap big one right there beside your teammate. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, we just found each other during the race. We had a good pit stop, came out there in that lead pack, and came across the start-finish line with 1 to go, running 6th and 7th, in really no position to win. But we were in position to capitalize on anything that happened in front of us, and it looked like Donald blew up going in turn 3, pushing burn, and we were right there for the taking. So sometimes it's just you got to put yourself in the right spot, and that's what happened here.
Yeah, I think the two-time series champion Donald Hagen said he was going to push it until it blew, and that's exactly what happened right in front of all you guys. And all you guys did a wonderful job getting around that, him getting down and out of the way, and brought it home second spot. And good luck in the 50-lap race.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, going to send it on down the bend with Nick Ramsey, who finished third.
Yeah, I'm down here with Nick Ramsey. Nick, you came into the third corner. You were running, what, 6th, 7th, somewhere back there. And then everything went wild. Walk us through that turn 4 moment there.
I couldn't really see much, but I saw smoke, Chris Houlihan on my bumper. We were able to get back up to third. It was great pushing by him.
Did you guys, I know I asked this in the last heat race to Mr. Wyatt, but did you guys learn anything that you could use in the feature here in the next few minutes?
I'm not sure. Feature kind of, you don't really know what's going to happen till it actually starts.
Alrighty, Nick, well, I'll tell you what, the feature should be a great one to watch. I'm going to send it on back up to JD.
All right, Cowboy, tell you what, we're going to go ahead and step away, take a couple of commercial breaks. We're going to bring HD Radio Network back in the house here. Crank the rock and roll up, Cowboy, as these boys get ready for a 50-lap feature tonight. Now, reminder, it's going to be starting with 50% fuel, so one more time, they're going to have to pit. This time they're going to open the gates and let the flagmen in. Cautions will be on for the 50-lap feature, so hang on to your seat, Cowboy. Don't wander off. We'll be right back after this short break. And we are back live here at Talladega Superspeedway with Paint the Yellow All-Star Race. And I tell you, Cowboy, we do this on a quarterly basis with these guys. Tons of fun here. We just got done with the first two heat races here, 12-lap shootouts, Cowboy. They told the flagman to stay home, dude. We don't need you for a little while. And I'll tell you what, Crosby winning the first one, Jack Honeycutt winning the second one. He'll start on the pole here for the 50-lap here just shortly. But I'll tell you what, we want to make sure to bring some of our sponsors into the picture here tonight. Athens Screen Printing. Custom design your own T-shirts, Cowboy, sweatshirts, or let Athens Screen Printing do the work for you. And I'll tell you, Athens Screen Printing in Athens, Texas on Palestine Street. You can check them out at AthensScreen.com. I think I heard the back door open. Got to fix some squeaky hinges back here on the booth, but I understand Ed Peoples walked in to us, but he's here for a very special occasion. Dakota?
Yeah, JD, actually today is a very special day for Mr. Ed Peoples. It is his birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Now, the last time we did that on ETV Live, we got laughed right out of town, so I don't know that we're going to do that. But Ed, happy birthday, my friend.
Well, thank you, guys. You all are doing such an amazing job. I'm having a blast out here with my friends and with you guys. My family's upstairs on the broadcast watching it live, and they're having a blast. And no, I didn't walk in here. I think I was drunk in here. But I'm having a heck of a day. My family has been just more than special to me today. My children blindfolded me, took me out to a movie to see Madagascar 3. I was totally surprised, had a nice dinner, and then I get to top my night off here with my great friends here at Paint the Yellow and you guys here at ETV Live, and I'm having a blast. So thank you for taking that special moment and giving me a congratulations there on my birthday. It means a lot, guys.
You bet. I tell you what, you know, we did have some fun the other night, and you know, again, I want to say hello to Victoria and Mitchell. I know they're sitting at home watching all this happening here live on ETV Live, Cowboy. A couple of new friends in my little friend book, but we had a good time the other day doing some recording and stuff, and we're glad to see you having a good time here tonight, Ed.
Having a blast, and they are enjoying it, seeing themselves and hearing themselves on the internet. Thank you so much. Have a good night, guys. Y'all doing a great job. Have fun.
All right, thank you, Ed. We're going to go ahead and cut Ed loose. I know he's got some work to do down there on the track. Get together with his crew chief down there, getting ready for the 50-lap race here coming up shortly, guys. And Michael, the first two in the books here at Talladega for Paint the Yellow. No cautions this time around. The flagman will be on duty for the 50-lap race here coming here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, I tell you too, JD, that if you've missed the first two heat races, you didn't miss a thing, because we got this thing recorded, and it'll be up and eligible for you to view it after tonight's 50-lapper. And then on Facebook, facebook.com/ETV Live Broadcasting, we've got two pictures up, and finishes from both races were photo finishes. Got those pictures up. They look real good. So, JD, I hope this 50-lapper's 4 wide at the finish line.
You bet. And real quick in the final 30 seconds here before we get to rolling, ETV Live, proud to announce a very special broadcast airing on Thursday, July 5th. You saw the promo here running a pre-race at the beginning of the show here tonight. Join us at 7:30 p.m. Eastern for the Prader-Willi Syndrome charity race, sponsored in part by Paint the Yellow Racing, live from Talladega Superspeedway. If you have ever been so hungry only to be told that you can't have anything to eat, tune in for a very special presentation and learn how this life-threatening disease affects 1 in 15,000 children each year. With a purse totaling almost $2,000. Please join us on Thursday evening, July 5th, for this very special benefit race live right here on ETV Live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and we will see you there. And I'll tell you what, I do believe I hear some engines starting up down there on the track, guys. I believe they're starting to get ready to get this thing rolling. Remember, 50 laps here for the feature race tonight here at Talladega Superspeedway, 2.5-mile track. Michael, we saw some action coming off of pit road last time around, a couple of them spinning right there at the commit line.
JD, pit road has been very important, as you could have seen. The last two heat races had some spinning in, had some spinning out, so you never know what's going to happen at Talladega.
You bet. And as they start getting gridded up down here on the start-finish line, I want to go ahead and run up down through the lineup here, winning heat number 2, Jack Honeycutt in the 01 truck. He'll be starting on the inside. His dancing partner for the night in that number 91 machine, Tom Mastukas, in the number 2 position.
And starting in row second, 2, the number 34 machine of Nick Ramsey, and outside him, 71. We heard his name a lot in the second heat, Christopher Houlihan.
Byron Lavelle looked like he was going to be a contender in heat number 2. He'll be starting in 5th position on the inside in the 62 truck. On the outside in 6th position, number 21, Mark Robertson.
And Matt Smith starting in 7th position tonight, and the number 60 truck of Mickey Turtle.
Happy birthday, Ed Peoples, in that 24 machine. He'll be starting on the inside in 9th position. On the outside in 10th, number 16, Paul Covington.
Starting 11th in the 31 truck, Richard Bulmer, and outside him, Gary Horsley.
In 13th position, in the 11 truck, Chris Crosby, who put on a good show in the first heat race here tonight. Outside him in 14th, and number 18, Kyle Lewis.
Two-time series champion who blew the motor, JD, with 1 to go last race. Donald Hagen starting 15th. Outside him, Chuck Harris.
And Tony Oldham, he'll be starting 17th in the number 36 on the inside. On the outside in the 18th position, number 33, Tyler Stellwagen.
Starting 19th in the 38 truck, Gary Lou, and outside him, White Hughes.
Ricky Jenkins will be starting 21st in the 02. On the outside, Gary Boyer. David Pollack in 23rd position in the 14, rounding out your field for the night. James Howard in the back. 24 drivers in this feature race, 50 laps here tonight. Remember, they start the race with 50% fuel, Michael. Pit stops coming our way here at Talladega. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, JD, pit stops will be taking place probably around, well, it really depends, but we'll get more from pit road here in a minute as the pace car about to do the famous drop left-handed turn as the 01 brings them down, JD. Jack Honeycutt to the line.
I'll tell you what, they're sucking up tight and getting ready to fly. Remember, we do have flagmen on the track here tonight. One of them standing up there in that flag stand right now. He's getting ready to throw that green flag in the air, and there it goes. We're off and running. Feature race here at Talladega Superspeedway. Paint the Yellow All-Star race underway.
01 of Jack Honeycutt gets a really good start as the 34 Nick Ramsey probably going to get a tuck up under him as Tom Moustakis trying to look for someone to dance with.
Tom Moustakis hooked up with Jack Honeycutt in that 01 machine in race number 2, heat number 2 here at Cowboys. So I'll tell you what, that 91 truck looking to possibly get in touch with that 01 machine way up in front, but no help from Moustakis right now in that 91 as they start piling up down there on the bottom. Going to go 3 wide. They're coming through the turn. Got the 60 up on the top. Moustakis down on the bottom as he cuts in behind the, I believe that's going to be, let's see. I believe that's going to be the number 21 machine. Moustakis gets down behind the 21 machine as they start going almost 3 wide back here off the turn, guys.
JD, Ed Peoples, the birthday boy, pushing the freaky fast delivery 60 truck of Mickey Tuttle out up high, trying to make something happen on that high line. Talladega's known for that high line, and let's see if they can get something working together as a bullet down the backstretch, hitting 2 miles an hour.
You got 2 laps coming up on 2 laps in the books here at Talladega in the feature race, 50 laps here. I want to throw it on down pit road here for just a minute. Dakota Ehrman, I know he spends a lot of time at these super speedways talking to crew chiefs. I believe he's got a truck, I believe he's got the keys to a couple of trucks, and he spent some time out here on the track at 200 miles an hour. But let's talk to Dakota and see what he thinks. Dakota, you know, we're talking about 50 laps here. These guys can only do, what, 3 or 4 laps. They got to get those trucks out in clean air, look for that cool-down lap as they try to work themselves around. So what can we expect to see out here at Talladega tonight out of these trucks?
Well, I think you're going to see him switching more and more. The strategy that played out last time, Donald Hagen blowing up, he was doing his best to back off of Bell. And as you saw, it didn't work out very well as he blew up coming off of turn 4, I believe. You got to make sure you keep that engine cool. getting on the pit road, you know, that can be difficult. Getting off, though, if you don't take tires, that's going to be slick, JD.
3 wide coming through the trial, guys. Coming off of turn 4 through the trial. Well, the 07 machine, Chuck Harris in the middle with the 17 of Donald Hagen, who blew up last time out. I tell you what, they got it all sorted out. Back to double file racing here now. But I tell you what, these guys looking for dancing partners here early in the race. 4 laps in the books here at Talladega.
JD, you just said they had it settled out, but no, sir. Coming out of 2, 3 wide, still down the backstretch. The 16 stuck in the middle without a partner, but he's railing them down.
And here comes the 07 up the middle. I tell you what, he's going to hook up with the 16 machine up there in the front and make a run for the run here. You got Christopher Houlihan down here on the bottom in the 71 machine. They come back around. There's 5 laps in the books here at Talladega Superspeedway. 45 more laps to go. That's a ton of racing here on a 2.5 mile, actually a 2.6 mile track here at Talladega. A little bit different than Daytona, and this place even has steeper turns than Daytona. But I'll tell you what, some pretty good racing happening out here tonight, guys. They might as well have told the flagmen to go home and stay at home for this one, too. Looks like a pretty clean and green race to me, guys.
Sure does, JD. This is really exciting early on at Talladega. Just what the track was built for. Fast, packed, super packed racing. And we're getting it tonight with these boys at PaintYellow.com.
And I'll tell you what, you know, we've been here before with these guys. We've done a lot of work with these boys here at Paint the Yellow. We usually televise their quarterly All-Star races here held at super speedways. And I'll tell you, this is about the second or third time around that we've been working with Jack Honeycutt and Ed People and the guys over here. Great group of people. But right now I want to talk to you about AJ's Masonry. 30 years in the masonry business. 3 generations of expertise means you get quality work and exceptional solutions for maintenance and repairs. And let me tell you something, renovation, restoration, and repair is what they specialize in. AJ's Masonry. Contact Jack Honeycutt, who started on a pole here in the 50-lap feature in Bilton, Virginia. You can call him at 703-819-5846 or email him at jack@ajmasonry.com, cowboy.
JD looking 3 wide again as the 60 and the 24, I think, do the famous swap. And they are 3 wide, stacked 2 deep, JD, in turn 2 on the backstretch.
Donald Hagen in the middle and 17, Paint the Yellow machine. Let me tell you something, cowboy. Looks like he might have had a run going there in that second heat. Blew up on the front stretch coming off of turn 4, but he's got it together tonight. Quick fix for that 17 machine. He's run right up the middle, and now he's working with Chris Crosby, who won the first heat up here in that number 11 truck.
And Christopher Houlihan, who's leading this race right now with a 62, Bern Lavelle underneath him, or up behind him, has continued to lead this race, but no more. The 11 car takes the lead.
Yeah, the 11 car. Yeah, I make the same mistake, cowboy. I tell you what, these are pickup trucks out here. Oh, wrecking up in the front off the track. Oh! Up in the front here, the 07. Oh, big wreck up here in the front, cowboy. Caution's going to come out for the first time here at Talladega in the All-Star race here for Paint the Yellow. Try to roll it back here and see what happened. I see somebody clear off down onto the apron, Michael. It's going to be a 16 machine. Paul Covington running in fourth place. Looks like just a bad, might have been a bad bump draft coming through the middle of the turn, cowboy. Knocks him onto the apron. The 07 dives around trying to avoid, into the wall he goes. So first caution coming out here at Talladega. Let's throw it on down to John Magic Fingers Westling for the E1.
Yeah, guys, let's catch this, see if we can see what happened here. This is a big one. I see trucks flying everywhere. We're going to pull it back here a second or two, see if we can catch the whole thing here. The 07 and the 16 are oh, and it looks like a bad bump draft. The 16, I believe, is going to come back up the track. He gets back up safely, but it bunches everybody else up, especially Chuck Harris here, and he's going to take a big slide here to 60. The 07's involved. 38, I believe, 24. Big mess here.
Now, Ben, take us, you drive these trucks every now and then. Take us what it feels like to be inside one of these trucks. I mean, you see guys just everywhere, and at that rate of speed and that close running together, what's it like trying to get through that carnage?
I tell you what, Michael, running at 200 mile an hour, inches apart, it is very stressful. And to add on to the stress, you have to make sure your gauges, you have to make sure your truck is cool, you got enough gas. It is just so stressful being out there in these trucks. You have to do, I mean, this is work.
I tell you what, JD, I've been behind the wheel myself. It is very difficult to see anything out front of you in the middle of a race. You see smoke go up, and that's pretty much it, and you just got to rely on those spotters.
You bet. They all come piling down pit road, Cowboy. I tell you what, I know a lot of these trucks, it's going to be mandatory fuel stops anyway, but we do have a number of them coming down pit road for a little bit of sheet metal work as well. So I see the ball peen hammers being laid up on pit wall down there. Some of them are going to have a little bit of an extended pit stop down there. Chuck Harrison, the 07 machine, for one. Smoke pouring out from under the hood, Cowboy, as they get the fire extinguishers to put that one out. But the first caution coming out here at Talladega. Why don't we go ahead and step away? We'll take our first commercial break for this one. So don't wander off, Cowboy. You're watching live. ETV Live, Paint the Yellow All-Star Race. We'll be right back. Hey, JD here with ETV Live, and let me tell you something. If it's too big for the pickup truck and you need to move it, there's only one trucking company you need to call, and don't bother with the Yellow Pages, Cowboy. I'll give you that number in a minute. Manufactured goods, automotive, technical equipment, furniture, even if you need a reefer, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the only choice, Cowboy. With locations in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Rancho Cucamonga, California, if you need to move it, store it, and keep it cold, you need to call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Long haul, short haul, or just across town, Gary Mercer has the best trained and qualified drivers to get your load from point A to point B with professionalism and on time. So remember, Hoss, if it don't fit in a pickup truck, you're going to need a real truck, Cowboy. Sponsors of ETV Live's Friday Night Showdown, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 1-800-668-2980. And we are back live here at Talladega Superspeedway. This is the feature race here with Paint the Yellow. Paint the Yellow Racing League. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, yeah, check these guys out. PaintTheYellow.com. A good group of guys over here, some solid racing. They, I know they run multiple divisions over here. Tonight it's the All-Star race. I'll tell you what, they come together each quarter here with ETV Live, and we broadcast these races for them. Usually super speedway races, but I'll tell you what, having some fun here tonight. 2 heat races out of the way, 12 lappers, lots of fun there. Chris Crosby and Jack Honeycutt winning both of those, and on to the 50-lap main event. Just working caution number 1 here on lap 7, guys, and I'll tell you what, it did involve a number of trucks here, Mike, and but 2 of them, Ricky Jenkins, Tyler Stellwagen out there in front, did not pit.
Yep, JD, and I'm not sure if that's really going to hurt them or not. They will, if it stays green, they will have to pit with each other, though. That's what's important. So if these guys get separated, don't expect someone to come pit with you. So let's see how this happens. In the 02, Gonna lead them down the green, JD, this time by.
Pace cars will make that right or that left-hand turn. I'll tell you what, it's a massive left-hand turn too. I don't want to ride in that pace car when he makes that left. Probably get a little bit of whiplash. But Ricky Jenkins, Tyler Stellwagen, Chris Crosby, Barn Lavelle, Christopher Houlihan going to bring it to you, Cowboy. As the green flag getting ready to fly, and there it goes. Ricky Jenkins off to a good lead here.
Yep, Ricky Jenkins going to take the lead, and Tyler Stellwagen racing that PaintYellow.com Chevrolet going to get up behind him and tuck underneath and see if he can push him.
Now, let's talk about the length of this track here, guys. 2.6-mile track, just a little over 2.5 miles. Big old long straightaways. The fastest part of the track, of course, going down the tri-oval as they get to 3 wide down the middle of the backstretch. Here we go again. Tom Moustakis up on the outside of that 91, running the wall up here. He's got the 71 down on the bottom there, trying to make it happen with a little bit of help in behind him from the 17 machine. But 2.6-mile track here, Cowboy. Draft means everything. So, Michael, all the ones that were involved in that wreck back here on lap 7, certainly there's going to be a few of them that are going to be significantly off the pace by the end of this thing tonight.
Yeah, JD, draft is so important at Talladega. You've got to keep that truck, without it, you got to keep that truck clean, basically. And these guys doing a real good job of doing that as they're trying to push it 3 wide down the backstretch again, JD.
Coming off of turn 2 there, the 91 machine looking to the outside, didn't have any help, but I'll tell you what, Cowboys, the 17 Donald Hagen trying to work with that 91 machine up there in the front as they look again to the outside, coming off of turn 4, possibly going to take a 3 wide, think better of it. Moustakis tucked right back in behind, but I'll tell you what, we've got a change for the lead up here in the front. The 02 moving backwards here a little bit as the 62 machine of Bern Lavelle collects it from this one.
It looks like the 11 truck of Chris Crosby pitted alone.
And looks like a fuel-only stop for Chris Crosby. And I'll tell you, pitting out of sequence without any help, Cowboy, that may set him back here a little bit. Unknown whether he's going to be able to have the speed to at least stay on the lead lap here before scheduled pit stops take place, at least by Ricky Jenkins and Tyler Stellwagen. But
JD got a new leader.
Go ahead,
7.
Mike.
Yeah, got a new leader, JD. If I want anybody behind me, I want the 2-time series champion, Donald Hagen, right behind me, the 91 to the lead. And now they're going to swap, JD, in turn 1 as Tom Moustakis tucks up behind that number 17 machine.
And making that swap to cool those motors down, I'll tell you, the best place to do it is going to be in the turns. You do not want to do it down the straightaway. And I'll tell you, you're going to lose about 10 miles an hour when you come out from behind your dancing partner there, Cowboys. So, and if somebody's right there on the bottom behind you, it's a good chance you're going to wind up giving up that position. So the best thing to do is do it inside the turn here, and they did it right. That's going to be Thomas Dugas and Donald Hagen making that swap. But checking back in the back here a little bit as they build the lead is the 62 of Bern Lavelle on the bottom of 31, and the looks like the 14 machine moving up alongside, going to take a position behind the leaders up here. So 16 laps in the books, round number 3 here at Talladega.
JD just got a note passed to me. Tom and Donald, the 2 guys out front right now leading this race, are they have between the 2 of them 6 championships. So these guys really hooked up right now, JD. You're probably going to see them stay hooked up too the whole race.
All right, and it sounded like Jack Honeycutt and that 01 machine having a little bit of difficulty on the straightaway. Why don't we go ahead and send it on down to Ben? What'd you catch down there, bud?
Yeah, it looked like he just, got hit the wrong way, got a little bit sideways up into the wall. He'll have to come down and get that fixed so he can be aerodynamically stable right there. But, yep, what a save, though. He could have been a big crash.
Almost looked like, I did pull it up on my rewind here, it almost looks like right here on lap 16, about 13th position. He looked like he might have been working with a teammate. Coming off the turn, got a little bit of that slingshot action, and looked like he was kind of breaking free with his dancing partner up there in front, and just got out of control and smacked the wall just a little bit. But I'll tell you what, you're absolutely right. Good save by Jack Hunnigan in that 01 machine.
JD, looks like things settled out a little bit between the race leaders up here, Tom and Donald. They're still 1 and 2. Just behind them, David Pollock trying to look for a partner, can't find one. Christopher Houlihan's hooked up with Bern Lavelle as they go outside him on the backstretch.
Guys, Tyler's...
Go ahead.
Tyler Stillwagon and Ricky Jenkins both coming down pit road. Remember, those are the ones that stayed out under the last caution. These guys are going to try to make it the rest of the way. Watch for them to be a factor when all the other guys have to pit.
You bet, and it looks like it was fuel only for Ricky Jenkins. He works his way back out onto the track here, down the apron here, coming through turns 1 and 2. I believe they have to exit on the backstretch back here. So Tyler Stellwagen and Ricky Jenkins, fuel only stops for them. Hey, it's a no-brainer here at Talladega. 50-lap race, no tires needed tonight, Cowboy. Back out on the track they are. And I'll tell you what, doing it old school, working as a team, so getting the job done here tonight, Mike.
Now, JD, not real sure, but is lap, and Dakota may be able to help me, or Ben, Dakota, not sure if lap 19 is too soon for fuel. Is it too soon for fuel?
Look, Michael, I just got word on the radio from the guys that just pitted. There is no absolute way there is just no way they will make it on fuel from where they just stopped.
Hey, looks like we got a wreck in one. The 24 Ed Peoples lost it, and I believe he has saved his truck. What a save for the 24 car, Ed Peoples.
No caution out on the track. I'm going to roll it back on my monitor here, but I see a little bit of damage on that 24 machine. That might have come from, I believe that might have come from, well, it might have been Mickey Tuttle behind him, guys. I'm not quite sure, but trying to roll it backwards here and take a look. But Mike, what else you got, bud?
Well, I got a new race leader, JD. The 91 car, no more. It's the 14, David Pollock, to the lead, this time by Richard Balmer is his teammate. But here comes the 91 and the 17 back at it again on the high side, JD.
All right, as the battle continues up there in front, Ed Peoples suffering a little bit of damage from a hit to the wall up there, but no harm, no foul, still rolling around, dropping back here a little bit in that 24 machine. Ed Peoples having a little bit of difficulty out here in round number 3 at Talladega, but it looks like he's losing a draft up here, guys, so he may be in trouble here.
Yeah, and the next guy behind him, JD, who's running 16th, is already hooked up with his partner, and then the two that's remaining in 18th and 19th is Tyler and Ricky. They just pitted, and they're hooked up. So Ed Peoples might be in big trouble here if he don't get a caution.
20 laps in the books here at Talladega, the Paint the Yellow All-Star race. And I'll tell you another sponsor mention here tonight, Omega Construction. Omega Construction sponsoring the All-Star race here in part. I tell you, they serve the commercial construction needs of the Piedmont, North Carolina area from start to finish. Qualified professionals to take you from pencil and paper to nails and hammers, Cowboy. Omega Construction's portfolio includes institutions, hospitality, general commercial construction contractors. OmegaConstruction.com.
JD back out front here, got another race for the lead as the 91 machine falling back and leads it to the 34 of Nick Ramsey and James Howard.
All right, I'll tell you what, something common here at Super Speedways, Mike, is lead changes. I mean, you're going to see, a number of lead changes here, about as much as, well, we won't get into that, but there'll just be a lot of them.
JD, looks like these guys coming through some lap traffic. Oh no, they split. The two that's a lap down split on the high side and on the inside. It's going to slow them up big time. 3 wide, JD. 34 and the 31 are laps down, JD.
All right, there's a lot of action taking place out here on the track, Cowboy. So 24 laps in the books here at Talladega, and these guys are just all over it up here, going three wide here. Of course, you know, you got to make that swap. You know, and you're watching the temperature gauge on the dashboard inside the cockpit of those trucks. You got to make that swap. And hey, Cowboy, if you can't do it in a turn, you got to make it on the straightaway somewhere. So that's probably why you see a lot of three-wide action out here taking place at kind of odd places, but I'll tell you what, it's all for the bragging rights here tonight with the Paint the Yellow All-Star race at Talladega. But Richard Bomer has the lead right now in that 31 machine. As you can see on the big screen up there, I'll tell you what, Chevrolet Silverado, that's what it's all about, Cowboy. Being pushed by that number 14 machine.
Yeah, 14 truck, JD, looking really good. David Pollock, real strong looking as he's riding around in that famous Daves.com Chevrolet.
You bet. Let's go a little bit deeper in the field, guys. Let's go all the way back to 11th position back here. Tony Oldham, he's about a second and a half off the leaders up here. Getting a little bit of help out of Matt Smith in the 88 machine. So desperately trying to hang on to what they got here and bring it just a little bit closer. Do have some traffic up in front. It's going to be the 62 of Vern Lavelle, Christopher Houlihan up here in the 71. Tom Moustakis, who started out in pretty good shape here tonight, but fall backwards here just a little bit. Moustakis still inside the top 10, actually slipping back now to 11. Actually, why is my telemetry jumping all over the place? Moustakis still up inside the top 10. I don't know, you know, sometimes you gotta slap these monitors on the side, you know, just, you know, old style, old school stuff, and kind of kickstart them a little bit. But back to that 91 machine, Tom Moustakis having a pretty good run here in the third round here, 50-lap feature race here tonight. Still inside the top 10, running in 8th position behind the 17 of Donald Hagen. Now, Hagen blew that motor up in the second round here during the heat race, but I'll tell you, working together, trying to push forward here and see if they can't claim the prize for the All-Star race here at Talladega tonight. Dakota, what do you got for us, bud?
Oh, you guys talk about Donald Hagen coming to the front as he moves for the lead here, guys. He's just trying to make up for lost time in the last race where he blew up. Well, there was almost a fight in the spotter stands between his spotter and the 38 spotter, Gary Lowe. There was an argument over the line there. There was almost a fist fight, guys.
It was a fast one.
I'll tell you what, up in front of the leaders here, it's going to be Ricky Jenkins and Tyler Stellwagen. Remember, they pitted on. Oh, and down they come. Tyler Stellwagen peels off with Ricky Jenkins. Is going to hit pit road one more time, and almost wrecking here on pit road. That was going to be Mickey Tuttle come sliding on the inside past him. That's got to be a speeding penalty for sure from that Mickey Tuttle. We'll have to keep an eye on that situation, but. We've got a number of them coming down pit road as the 02 spins and hits the pit wall, guys. That's going to be the 02 machine of Ricky Jenkins. I'm going to roll it backwards here on my monitor and have a second look here. I don't know if he looks like he might have had a little bit of help. Oh, looks like he had a little bit of help out of that 33 machine. Gets pounded in the tailgate. Around he goes, nose into the pit wall. Damage to the front end of that 02 machine, so it might be over for Ricky Jenkins, Mike.
Yeah, JD, that was real tough. He had almost just got in his pit box, but the right corner stuck out just enough to get tagged, JD, and that really put a hurt on that pit stop for him. As the 91 machine still out front at this race, JD, with 20 to go.
You bet. And you just saw it on the ETV E-Wind up there on the E-View. But Dakota, what do you got, bud?
Yeah, you guys wondering if Mickey Tuttle got caught speeding? He rode this thing down to 56 miles per hour right at the line. The speed limit is 55. He was not caught speeding. Mickey Tuttle is good to go.
All right, Mickey Tuttle. I thought for sure that they were going to get the old speed gun down there and get him, but 17 machine, Donald Hagen, coming down pit road along with the 91 of Tom Oustakis down pit road for their stop. 29 laps in the books here at Talladega, Cowboy, with green flag pit stops underway. Let's take it on down to pit road with Ben Kilcrease. What do you got for us, Ben?
Guys, the partners, Tom Oustakis and Donald Hagen, they're going to fill it up here, and they're going to try and make it to the end. Those two trucks are very fast. No changes on them. They like them the way they are. Watch for those guys. As Oustakis took a little bit longer right there than Hagen did to get the fuel in the truck.
Yeah, it looked like he overshot the pit stop there, Ben. That really hurt the 91 because he was running with Hagen.
7.9 second pit stop for Tom Oustakis to a 5-second flat for Donald Hagen. Guys, you're absolutely right. So a little bit longer to get the fuel, and perhaps they had difficulty hooking up the fuel can to the truck there. But back out on the track we go. Christopher Holohan is being shown the leader now down on pit road. It's going to be four tires for him in that 71 machine. Looks like I see the left side or right side coming up. 2-tire change for the 71. Houlihan fills it up with gas, and out he goes. So green flag pit stops here at Talladega. The Paint the Yellow All-Star race happening as we speak.
And don't worry, Ed, people, race fans, he is back hooked up with Tom Oustakis. So he had a little trouble in the pit, but able to overcome it, and back out with his teammate. It's like Bern Lavelle, JD, being shown your race leader as it stands right now. John, you got more?
Yeah, guys, I'm pulling this back on the E-Wine here in that 91 machine, and Tom Oustakis, he actually went past his pit stall enough, and he had to put it back in reverse and go back, and that was what the holdup was on pit road.
That'll kill you every time, John.
Ooh. Happened to put it in reverse, you're absolutely right, but tell you what, we got a gaggle of machines out here in front. Mark Robinson on the inside, the 17 and 91 on the outside up here, coming down through the triangle up here. So I tell you what, Cowboy, these guys, it just ain't no quitting these Cowboys at all. Well, Matt Smith up here in 7th position, looking at that 88 machine. It looks like he's got quite a bit of damage to the right rear of that truck, right in the tailgate area. But hey, Cowboy, as long as that spoiler's sticking straight up in the air, no harm, no foul, and keeping that front end as clean as possible, draft means everything at this 2.6-mile track.
Sure does, JD. And it looks like Tony Holman and Mark Robertson's 21 machine have hooked up. They're trying to run down your race leader, Bern Lavelle.
You've got Donald Hagen and Tom Oustakis about almost 1 second behind the leaders up there, but let's take it on down to pit road to Dakota Erm.
Christopher Houlihan taking 2 tires on that stop. He figured as long as they had to be on pit road for as long as they were, might as well take 2. We didn't lose any time, and his teammate, the 62, they've been looking to work together since round 1, guys. They're together, and look how it's going.
You bet. 2-tire stop, going to be right side tires, a little bit of help on the right side going through the turns as this thing starts winding down here. 33 laps into books, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, some outstanding racing we're seeing here tonight from Talladega. This is the Paint the Yellow All-Star race. And one more time, I want to run this by you again here, ETV Live, proud to announce a very special broadcast airing on Thursday, July 5th. Join us at 7:30 p.m. Eastern for the Prader-Willi Syndrome charity race, sponsored in part by Paint the Yellow Racing, live at Talladega Super Speedway at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on July 5th. The 91, I hear, is pitting, guys. It's going to be Thomas Nukas again. See if we can't get some more information.
And Hagen, JD.
Pit road here again, guys. And also, Donald Hagen also coming down pit road. So I wonder what that was all about. All right, there's Dakota Erman researching that one for us. Let's get on back out to the track. James Howard in that number 4 machine, guys. Looks like he's been forced behind the wall, going to give it up for the night here at Talladega. So James Howard, unfortunately, not going to be able to finish the race, but let's send it on down to pit road to Dakota Erman for a report.
Guys, they were sure they could not make it, so they came back down pit road to see if they could fill it up and make it from there.
If I'm them too, JD, I'm not wanting a caution, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know,
Get it, JD. The 88's around in turn 3. The 62's around, JD, in turn 3.
oh, caution coming out for the second time here at Talladega, guys. Gonna roll it backwards here a little bit and see what happened. Looks like it started with the 88 machine too. It looks like it might have been a contact with, I want to say that's the 14 truck. Looks like the 14 tried to sneak up on the inside, force the 88 into a 3 wide. Couldn't do it, Cowboy. Makes contact with the 88, and around he goes, and he's going to pick up a couple of more. Let's send it on down to Magic Fingers John Wessling for the E-Wine.
Yeah, let's see if we can see what happened here, JD. It's on a pretty good long run here, just after a couple drivers pitted, and I don't think they wanted to do that. But they're pushing almost 3 wide here, and it looks like the 88 might have came back across the 14, or the 14 might have came up a little bit. But anyway, they spin, push back up into the 16 and the 60, push them into the wall. And then that Home Depot number 62 car comes back across the nose of the 14 truck. They're going to go spinning, guys.
Tough night at Talladega, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, that's going to be caution number 2 coming out here tonight. And lap 35, but I'll tell you something, some great racing we're seeing anyway here. Hey, you know what? Cautions are probably an expectation here at a big track like this. And I'll tell you, when you're doing almost 200 miles an hour, you just can't step on the brake and roll that pony up without something happening here, Mike.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, and 2 that bit the bullet there, or at least, well, maybe not. They're not going to pit after all, JD. They're going to try to stick it out here and probably see what they've got fuel-wise to finish this race with what's in the tank now. I was thinking that the 17 and 91, Donald Hagen and Moustakis was going to pit there, but be stuck in the rear of the field. But they have stayed out.
You bet. And as most of them come down pit road here, so we should be able to get to the end of this thing here as far as fuel goes. So it looks like everybody heading down pit road going to at least fill it up. And as I understand, they're only allowed to put 50% of the fuel in these things as kind of throw a little bit of a kink in the works here tonight. So unable to fill the tank completely full. That was one of the conditions of the race here tonight. You've only got 50% capacity for the AllStar race. So I'll tell you what, caution number 2 coming out here with the Paint the Yellow AllStar race from Talladega. We're going to go ahead and step away, take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll see if we can't finish this thing out. So don't wander off, Cowboy. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm J.D. Webb, one of the executive producers and commentators for ETV Live. Many of you have heard my voice before calling races from the booth, having fun with the fans, and congratulating winners on any given night during our broadcasts. I want you to hear my voice again, only this time as I invite you to share a very special evening on ETV Live from Talladega Superspeedway for a benefit race on Thursday, July 5th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Have you ever been so hungry that you felt the pain and anxiety, wondering when your next meal will come? How about if you're told that you can't eat when you're hungry and you have to wait? Prader-Willi syndrome is the most common cause of life-threatening obesity in children. It causes them to have uncontrollable urges to eat and feelings of compulsion for hunger all the time. Parents have to lock the kitchen doors and cabinets, put food out of reach, and deny the hunger their child feels. But hunger is the least of the problems, especially left untended. Besides the uncontrollable urge to eat constantly, Prader-Willi syndrome leads to low muscle tone, short stature, incomplete sexual development, and can lead to a stage of obesity that is life-threatening. Sponsored by Paint the Yellow Racing League, here's an opportunity for you to learn about this debilitating illness and at the same time share a fun evening with your family. Please join me Thursday, July 5th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, live on ETV Live for a very special night and learn more about this rarely publicized illness that affects 1 in 15,000 children annually in the U.S. and how you can help to provide relief. We'll see you then. All right, and we are back live here at Talladega Super Speedway. And I'll tell you what, we want to thank one of the sponsors here tonight. It's going to be iRacerStuff.com. I'll tell you what, a site dedicated to the iRacing.com motorsports simulation game, featuring iRacing news, updates, companion programs, software, apps, and a new feature starting tonight. You heard it right here live on ETV Live, iRacer Stuff deals for sim racing items such as wheels, pedals, high horsepower computers, all updated daily with the best prices. So check it out, Cowboy. iRacerStuff.com deals.
Hey, JD, how about ETV mouse pads?
How about ETV mouse pads?
Well, those should be at iRacerStuff.com, right?
Yeah, we'll have to check. We'll have to check and see about that. Absolutely, we should have ETV Live mouse pads in the lineup over there as well.
Tell you what, I've added iRacerStuff.com to my bookmarks.
Yeah, I've checked them out. It's pretty good outfit over there, Cowboy. Got lots of stuff, some companion programs, you know, different kind of software. I believe they even have the updates for iRacing over there. So if you missed one, you can go over there and get it. iRacerStuff.com. It's a pretty cool place. I believe James Howard, if I'm not mistaken, I believe James Howard has a lot to do with that over there. I know he was telling me pre-race, while I was spending some time down in the garage with him, that he apparently does all the logos for PaintYellow and iRacer stuff. So I'll tell you what, guy is good. So if you need any logo work, I don't know whether he would put something together for you or not, but James Howard, some fantastic work coming out of his fingertips for sure.
Guys, as I was saying earlier, these guys were going to get the green flag with just over 10 to go, well actually 11 to go. They're going to have to watch their gauges on the pushing here because it's coming down to the line. You're just going to have to watch the gauges here in these last few laps, and that may be a deciding factor at the end of this one.
And guys, real fast, we're here with Ed P before he gets back in his car and gets out. He's on pit road to run the car. Ed, what happened, bud?
We were banging and having a great time out there, and I just somehow got caught up in a little bit of just a fender and didn't do much damage to my car, but therefore I lost the draft and got hooked up with Jack there, and we decided to do a real good pit stop, and we nailed it. It was coming out, and I was trying to swap radio channels from TeamSpeak and such, and reached down there to swap the channels, and I just couldn't save it. I think I'm going to have to talk to my crew chief about maybe getting me a remote control or something for that two-way radio, because I just am not multitasking too well tonight.
Well, unfortunate results for Ed, the birthday boy tonight, guys, but hopefully get back out there and get it running again. Back up to the guys in the booth.
Something about texting and driving or something. I don't know. Does that ring a bell?
I don't know, JD, but if I'm Ed Peoples, I'm investing in the good old-fashioned voice activation. Speaking of voice activation, JD, we're going green with 10 to go this time by.
Tony Oldham, Richard Bulmer, Gary Horsley up in the front with Wyatt Hughes, Tom Moustakis, and Donald Hagen, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, Moustakis and Hagen working together here tonight in round number 3 from Talladega as we get rolling one more time here. Hopefully this will be the last time. 40 laps in the books, 10 to go.
Nice restart for everybody, JD. They're all bunched up, bumper to bumper, as the number 36, Todd Oldman out front.
And that'll be just for a minute, Cowboy. I tell you what, getting some help from the 31 machine up there on the top, but on the bottom is going to be the 91 machine of Thomas Dukas in 5th position back here. And I'll tell you, he's getting some help, if I can get my mouse to cooperate, he's getting some help from Mark Robertson in that 21 machine. So I'll tell you what, it's on here at Talladega in our closing laps here. with 10 to go. There'll be 9 to go when they cross the start-finish line. But I'll tell you what, let's go back here a little bit to about 10th position back here. David Pollack in that 14 truck trying to put something together. The 62 machine of, I believe it's going to be Bern Lavelle. And then the 71 of Christopher Houlihan go for right on top. Going to take a 3 wide down the backstretch. Look out, Cowboy, here we come.
Yeah, Bern and Christopher, JD, had such a run, they had nowhere to go but high, and that's what they did. They're trying to gain some momentum, but they've lost a little bit by having to check up.
Oh, Houlihan takes a piece of the wall with him off of turn 4 here, guys, as they drop down in back of the leaders here, so it's a no-go for Houlihan and Lavelle up here. But I'll tell you what, they are running down the leaders up here as they try to stay bunched up. 17 of Hagen working with his dancing partner up here trying to make it happen. But I'll tell you what, Cowboy, there's a gaggle of cars up here in the front on the bottom for sure.
And Mark Robertson, knock all over Tom's back door, trying to get something going with the 36 machine of Tony Ullman, who was leading the race just moments ago. Just can't get nothing done, JD, but here comes a run on the high side by Wyatt Hughes. He come out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere for sure. And I'll tell you what, they're making that top line work up there. Let's take it back here a couple of notches, back to 17th. Oh, 3 wide for the lead. We'll get back to that here in a minute. 3 wide for the lead up here in the front. I'll tell you what, we've seen this before too, Cowboy. Down the front stretch here through the tri-oval. That is absolutely danger zone up here as they're making it happen for lap number 42.
And 54 shut the door on the run of David Pollock, but David said, no, I'm going to stick it in there anyway, as he went 3 wide for the lead, but lost it to the 21, coming out of 2.
I was going to take it back here to 17th position in the 33 truck, Tyler Stellwagen. It looked like they had it hooked up and ready to go, but Tyler's now 1 lap down. He's the first car 1 lap down, so with 42 laps in the books, 8 to go. Oh, here, Cowboy. I believe the game is probably going to be over for that 33 truck, but a stellar performance out of Tyler Stellwagen tonight. But out here in front, it's going to be Gary Horsley, Mark Robinson, David Pollack, Wyatt Hughes battling it out up here. Going almost thinking 3 wide up here through the tri-oval. Thinks the better of the 54 truck. Gary Horsley hanging on to a good position up here.
And moving into 3rd position, Kyle Lewis and Matt Smith, JD, where did they come from? As they go trying to go 3 wide to take the lead. The 18's shaking all over the place out of 2.
You bet. I'll tell you what. Wow, is right, Cowboy. I tell you what, it ain't over till the fat lady sings, and the band is warming up down there on the track as they put this thing together. And I'll tell you what, it's about as exciting as that ever gets here at Talladega. Richard Bomer in 7th position back here in that 31 machine. Tell you what, he's kind of stuck in the soup here, Cowboy. Can't find a way out. Got the 21 on the outside, and they are running that. They're running that bottom line, protecting that bottom line from coming up and taking advantage of it and using that side draft.
JD, looks like we got a yellow.
As caution comes out here for the 3rd time at Talladega in the closing laps, guys. We'll have to roll it backwards here and see if we can't figure out what it was. All right, I'm hearing it's going to be Hagen. It's going to be Hagen in the 17 machine having some difficulty of actually trying to roll it back here on my monitor and figure out what happened. Actually, it happened in front of the 17 truck, guys. In fact, it happened with the 14 machine and the 30 machine. It's going to be Wyatt Hughes, and I believe that's the 14. I don't know if any contact was made or not, guys, if that was the infamous net code that we sometimes see out of iRacing.
As John's getting that back up, JD, Kyle Lewis sitting in 1st. Right now, as it stands, not sure if this one's going to go back to green, JD. Trying to get involved with the officials right now to see. But Kyle Lewis being shown your race leader right now.
You bet. And I had reports that somebody was upside down. I'm actually looking for that one, guys, trying to find out who that might have been. Cycling through the field here, I see a whole lot of bent-up sheet metal. Donald Haynes' machine just tore up in that 17 truck. All right, Wyatt Hughes apparently going for an e-ticket ride. All right, let's send it on down to Magic Fingers for an E-wind here. John, what do we got on the 30 truck?
Sorry, guys. Took me a while to get up. I want to catch who was on their lid here. And it seems to be it was Wyatt Hughes. They're pushing 3-4 wide here. This is about the last 5 or 6 laps, guys. And we're going to see that Wyatt Hughes end up on his lid. He's going to roll over and over here, guys. He's going to take a hard lick in the outside wall. And then he's going to end up getting airborne. The car's going to come back and hit him when he's on the wall. And he's just going to roll this thing, boys.
Whoa, over she goes. I tell you what, Cowboy, they're selling e-ticket rides at Talladega tonight here on live on ETV. Wow, what a hit from, I can't see who that is. I don't know if that was Jack Honeycutt in the 01 machine that, yeah, looking for who might have hit the 30 car and knocked him almost upside down there. It looks like it might have been the 01 car of Jack Honeycutt, but back to the front here, guys. Let's get the see if we can't get the official call here. We don't know whether they're going to call the race here or not. 46 laps in the books. The caution came out on lap 44, so we're not sure whether this is official yet. So unofficially, Kyle Lewis being shown the leader with Matt Smith and Tony Oldham, your top 3 as it stands right now, Mike.
Yeah, and JD, fans, if you're watching this race right now, this is what Michael the Batman Keaton wants you to do. I want you to take both your hands, cross your fingers, because we want this one to go back green.
Yeah, at least for 1 lap. Yeah, we might be getting a green-white checkered all on the same lap here, guys. I'm not sure. We're still waiting to hear from officials, but I believe we're going to. The pace car will cross the start-finish line here. It'll come around one more time, and at that point, it should go off. The light should go up on the pace car, and perhaps we'll have one more lap left here at Talladega. But right now, let's go ahead and step away. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to finish this thing off, Cowboy. You're here live with ETV Live. Paint the Yellow All-Star race from Talladega, so don't wander off. We'll be right back. Hey, JD here with ETV Live, and let me tell you something. If it's too big for the pickup truck and you need to move it, there's only one trucking company you need to call, and don't bother with the Yellow Pages, Cowboy. I'll give you that number in a minute. Manufactured goods, automotive, technical equipment, furniture, even if you need a reefer, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated is the only choice, Cowboy. With locations in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Rancho Cucamonga, California, if you need to move it, store it, and keep it cold, you need to call Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated. Long haul, short haul, or just across town, Gary Mercer has the best trained and qualified drivers to get your load from point A to point B with professionalism and on time. So remember, Hoss, if it don't fit in a pickup truck, you're going to need a real truck, Cowboy. Sponsors of ETV Live's Friday Night Showdown, Gary Mercer Trucking Incorporated, 1-800-668-2980. Back live at Talladega Superspeedway, the Paint the Yellow All-Star race, and it is official, Cowboy. Nope, it ain't over yet. We're going to get a green-white checkered here just momentarily as the pace car comes back down the front stretch here. It'll pass the start-finish line. The lights will go out for one more time around, and it will make that sharp left-hand turn, Mike, and we'll be at it again for one more lap.
That's right, and the boy from Carolina, Kyle Lewis, is going to lead them back to the green, JD. Come out of nowhere, and right behind him, the Matt R. Smith machine They were teamed up, working together. They come out of nowhere to the lead, and they're going to get to take this green-white checkered side by side, JD. Should be exciting.
You bet. And everybody up in front here, guys, has a certain amount of damage on their machines. Of course, I don't know whether there's a truck here that doesn't here in the closing laps here at Talladega. Had working 3 cautions here from Talladega Speedway here tonight. And I'll tell you what, still been an outstanding race here. And one last time, I want to tell you about a very special race that's coming up, happening on Thursday night, July 5th. I tell you, we are very proud to announce a very special broadcast on July 5th. Join us at 7:30 p.m. Eastern for the Prader-Willi Syndrome charity race, sponsored part by PaintYellow Racing, live from Talladega Superspeedway. And let me tell you something. If you have ever been so hungry only to be told that you can't have anything to eat, tune in for a very special presentation to learn how this life-threatening disease affects 1 in 15,000 children each year, with a purse totaling almost $2,000. Cowboy, join us on Thursday evening, July 5th, for this very special benefit race live on ETV Live. And I'll tell you, I spent some time with Ed Peoples and his daughter, Victoria, and Victoria's younger brother, Mitchell. We did some recording. And, of course, you saw the result of that during pre-race, and what a time we had. I was able to sit and talk with Ed for quite a while, learn a little bit about the illness, Prader-Willi syndrome. And let me tell you something, Cowboy. There's been times when I've been so hungry that I've just walked in the kitchen and got me something to eat. Learn more on July 5th about what that's all about when we have that special broadcast. But right now, it's up to Kyle Lewis to bring it home, Cowboy. He's going to lead us to the green flag with Matt Smith up on the outside. Now, Tony Oldham, Richard Bomer, Mark Robertson, Bern Lavelle in the back, and Christopher Houlihan. I'll tell you what, that 71 machine looking pretty smart here tonight as we get rolling one more time, Michael.
Crew chief all over Kyle Lewis right now. Take it easy, Kyle. Take it easy, Kyle, as he's leading the 50-lap shootout.
Oh, and he's having some electrical problems. 18 machine having some massive electrical problems on the backstretch here, guys. As the 88 machine, looks like the 88 machine maybe taking the lead here.
Matt Smith, your race leader in the 88 machine. JD showing to the lead with Mark Robertson right behind him. Going to take the white flag this time by.
All right, Kyle Lewis with some massive electrical problems. I believe he pulled the parachute cord, guys, and he is not going to be able to finish the race. We'll get more on that a little bit later. But Matt Smith to the front with Mark Robertson, Tony Oldham, and Richard Bomer in the back here. The 31 machine of Richard Bomer moving up to the outside.
JD looks like a 62 going under the yellow line to pass the 21 and the 88. 3 wide in 3.
Oh, and the 88 makes contact with the 31, wrecking in the back. That's going to set the
62.
62 machine is going to finish the race for the win, guys. The 62 machine all by himself. Bern Lavelle cruising, put that thing on cruise control as they're still wrecking behind him to the start-finish line, claiming a trophy here tonight. Bern Lavelle and the number 62 machine.
What a wild ride in turn 3 and 4, JD. John's going to get that up on the E-Wine. Donald Hagan finishing second. Behind him, David Pollock. Where did he come from? 3rd place for him tonight, JD.
Wow, I tell you what, Cowboy, what a finish here at Talladega for the PaintYellow AllStar race. What a night here, guys.
Oh, I tell you what, JD, on the back of the 14 machine, is loving a pig really so wrong? How about his loving a red coming out of 3 so wrong? That guy finished 3rd.
There you go. All right. I'll tell you what a night of racing here tonight. Started out with a couple of heat races here, 12 lappers. And mandatory fuel stop in there somewhere was left up to the drivers. Hey, Cowboy, whenever you want to stop, get your fuel. But a couple of 12-lap shootouts, heat races here tonight leading up to a 50-lap feature race here at Talladega for PaintYellow AllStar race. And what a night of fun here. Hey, no points included here tonight, Cowboy. It's all for bragging rights. The 62 car, Bern Lavelle, going to go home with the trophy from Talladega tonight.
Well deserved too, JD, for Bern. Guy had the car to beat, and it showed.
Yeah! Woohoo!
All right. That was from the radio of Bern Lavelle, but let's.
You know, guys, you know what I'm impressed with? It's the caliber of racing with Paint the Yellow and the guys I was racing with. I'm sweating right now. I'm sitting in my chair, and I'm sweating. And I owe all my thanks to guys like Chris Houlihan, guys like Mark, okay, guys like Tony, okay, that we stuck together on that Channel 8, and we made it work. I got lucky, guys. It's just luck, because these guys are all phenomenal drivers. And the rest of the guys in here, they're all great drivers.
We just, all we did was just turn the radio on. Bern was talking down there on his radio, guys, so I believe it was one of the pit road guys just reached over and flipped the switch. But I tell you, so not quite ready to start the pre-race show or the post-race show here yet, but why don't we go ahead and do that? Hey, I'm standing down here at Victory Circuit with Bern Lavelle, so one more time, Cowboy, tell us about your ride.
Nah, but in all due respect, man, we knew it was going to get hairy. 2 laps to go. It's a recipe for all-out warfare. You know, we were talking, like I said, I mean, I said it clearly. I said, you know, all bets are off. I posted once on Paint the Yellow about the Canadian prostitute, and that's what it boils down to. Your last 2 laps, you got friends, they're gone. In a way, they're gone. I mean, you're going to try to help it. I mean, you're there to win. Anyways, I did get lucky. A lot of it's luck.
A lot of it's luck. You got the guys up here in the booth rolling over in their chairs, Cowboy. I tell you, what a night of fun here. Hey, what made it happen for you tonight, Bern?
Mr. Houlihan, great. I drive well with Mr. Houlihan. I drive well with Tony. I drive well with Mark. Kyle Lewis, we were a little group on TeamSpeak. It really helped a great deal. Had a blast with listening to the rest of the guys. Tried to play a conservative race, you know, and of course, you know, trying to keep you cool.
All right. I'll tell you what, late night TV here on ETV Live, Cowboy. Bern Lavelle taking a trophy home from Talladega Superspeedway tonight with the Paint the Yellow All-Star race.
But and one thing I'd like to add, if anybody was watching this, you know, Paint the Yellow, really in the end, I mean, I've been with them since December. It's not always about winning. It's about the people you meet and the friends that you make. And when you look at Jack Honeycutt and James Howard and what they do for this league, my hat's off to them, sincerely. You know,
amen.
I was talking to some boys outside here. We were having a beer on the porch there in between, and I told the guys outside, I said, you know what? I said, half the fun is the camaraderie that you get in this sport. When you meet, you know, when you talk, you shoot the shit with the guys, and you work on your setups, and you work on your laps. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's the fun, the entertainment. It's priceless.
All right. Tell you what, Donald, you might as well just sit down there for a little bit. I got a funny feeling Bern ain't done yet, but
no. I'm, you know, fire away. I mean, you know, it's again. I got here tonight. I'm sweating like a pig. But it's that Canadian prostitute thing that I said a little while back. No, seriously, it's when you get to the last 3 laps like that. I mean, you notice if you guys watch this race, and you did, everybody was paired up. Everybody had a sweetheart, a honey. We were all, you know, kissing, you know, in a certain way. But when your last 2 laps, what are you going to do?
There you go. I'll tell you what, Bern Lavelle walking away with the trophy from Talladega Superspeedway. And I'll tell you what, Cowboy, the party ain't over yet. I'm going to throw it on down to Michael Keaton. I believe he's standing by with the driver of that number 17. Outstanding performance tonight, Donald Hagen.
Donald Hagen, that's exactly right, JD. Donald, take us back to lap 49, restarting position number 16. You finished second. Donald, take us through your ride. Donald, take us through your ride.
Well, it was a good race and all. Me and Tom were up there. We had, I think, we were the ones to beat, and we just got separated, and I hooked up with Chris, and Chris got caught up with Gary, and I was just going, and there was a big wreck, and I just closed my eyes and went through there hoping I wasn't going to get wrecked and finished second.
Donald going back, looking through the replay, coming out of 3, entering 4. Looked like he parked the water like Moses did to the Red Sea to finish second place. Who makes it happen for you, Donald?
Everyone, my teammates, Tom, Chris, Jack, James, couldn't make it happen without them.
10-4. Tell you what, Donald Hagen in the number 17, 3-time series champion, PaintYellow.com Chevrolet, finishing second. Going to pass it down to Ben, who's standing by with your third position race finisher, David Pollock.
Yeah, guys, I'm down here with David. I don't know if we can top Burns' interview, but we may try here. David, you were 8th position heading into turn number 3, and you came out 3rd. How did that happen?
I guess the guys up front decided to get all collected up. I was up there earlier a couple times. A couple different guys hung tight, but on that last restart, they just kind of disappeared in the front windshield, and then, you know, they gave it to me. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I was going to be 8th place, and they gave it to me. But I hung tight, and I'll take what I can get.
You're in a great race, maybe a little luck there at the end. Who gets the job done for you?
Well, numerous people tonight. Man, whoever I latched on the bumper in front of me, I can't recall anybody in particular, but I definitely wasn't paired up with anybody, you know, one-on-one knowingly. I mean, I kind of had Burns theory. I was just whoring around.
David, did you have a Canadian prostitute helping you?
Pretty much.
I tell you what, David, thanks for stopping by with us after this race. I'm going to send it back up to JD if he's not trying. All
right, thanks, guys. Guys, thanks for the broadcast.
All right. I tell you what, man, the party has started. The bar is open. And I tell you what, I'm reaching down on the cooler and grabbing me a cold one. But tonight, Mike, what a night. 2 12-lap shootouts leading up to a 50-lap feature race. Tons of fun here with the Paint the Yellow group for sure.
That's exactly right, JD. These guys put on one heck of a show from the first heat race to the second and to the 50-lap main feature. It was really fun and really exciting the whole entire time, JD. So I had a lot of fun with these boys at PaintYellow.com.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, to close this thing out, we're going to do it kind of a special way here at Paint the Yellow, the All-Star race tonight. We're going to leave you with the same message that we started our night with here tonight. And this is a very special occasion. We want you to tune in on Thursday, July 5th, for a very special benefit race live on ETV Live, sponsored by Paint the Yellow. And if you haven't heard of Prader-Willi syndrome, you need to study and learn about it. And I'll tell you, you can get all the information right at the Paint the Yellow website. They've got links up to take you to those special places. But I'll tell you what, from Talladega Super Speedway for Paint the Yellow Racing League here, Michael Keaton in the booth with me tonight, John the Bad Boy working the buttons for you, and of course the best in the business, Dakota Ehrman and Ben Kilcrease on pit road. We'll see you next time on ETV Live. Hi, I'm J.D. Webb, one of the executive producers and commentators for ETV Live, an online simulation autosports broadcasting company. Prader-Willi syndrome is the most common cause of life-threatening obesity in children. It causes them to have uncontrollable urges to eat, feelings and compulsions for hunger all the time, but hunger is the least of the problems, especially if left untended. Prader-Willi syndrome leads to low muscle tone, short stature, incomplete sexual development, and can lead to a stage of obesity that is life-threatening. Sponsored by Paint the Yellow Racing League, Ed Peoples and his daughter Victoria and son Mitchell join me tonight to invite you to attend and to participate in this worthy cause. Ed, just briefly, the lifestyle adjustments that a parent must take, both in the home and psychological, must be very difficult. Please explain to our viewers what it means to have a child with Prader-Willi syndrome.
Thank you very much, JD. We have a customized kitchen provided by Habitat for Humanity where the doors are locked at all times by a combination-style keypad. We also use a weekly menu posted for her to see so she knows what meal she will be having and the times and the foods and amounts that she will be receiving. As far as our careers, they are a challenge for both parents to work, yet both of us be constantly available for the many doctor visits and the therapist appointments to juggle. As far as the psychological effect, her smiles make all of our challenges and struggles worthwhile to manage on a daily basis. We are very aware of the many other diseases and syndromes and disabilities out there that are much more severe than Prader-Willi syndrome. We feel very fortunate to have an organization like Prader-Willi Syndrome USA to be there in times of need and in crisis. Thanks, JD.
And Victoria, sweetheart, I don't understand what you feel and how you live with Prader-Willi syndrome because I just don't know a lot about it. So can you tell me and everyone listening, sweetheart, what it's like?
I try to always be happy, and my boyfriend.
She's always trying to be happy, and that is very common with her and other children with Prader-Willi syndrome, always smiling. And she does love to communicate with the boyfriend she has in Pittsburgh. She loves with Prader-Willi syndrome.
Very good. And Mitchell, I'll bet you're proud of your older sister. What are some of the things that you do to help?
I try to be a bigger brother even though I'm little. I try to play with her because she doesn't have friends to play with.
Very good. Please join Ed, Victoria, Mitchell, and I, along with many others, on July 5th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, live on ETV Live for a very special night and learn more about this rarely publicized illness that affects 1 in 15,000 children annually in the U.S. and how you can help provide relief. We'll see you then.